Greetings, my name is JC,
And I'm Ian.
and this is GG News. So it's the beginning of April, and we have a few things to talk about. I guess the first thing we should mention is these new PlayStation Store policy updates on refunds for pre-orders and faulty content. We don't really know what faulty content means because it seems like the support site isn't
Doesn't
explicit.
seem, no, there's
Yeah,
no explanation.
Anthem was faulty. Can I get a refund on that? Probably not.
I I don't think so. No, but
um,
the good news is you can cancel pre-orders all the way up to the release date,
yeah.
and they won't charge you the payment. Beyond that, you've got 14 days to
hmm
request a refund, as long as you haven't started a download or started streaming it.
Yeah, which is
You
pretty cool
can,
because you weren't able to do this before and people complain.
yeah,
So, it's nice that they're listening and actually giving some way of refunding something. So,
yeah, exactly. It's nice to have that option there.
yeah, yeah. Um, in other news, we finally, we knew it was coming out on April the 3rd, but we got the release date for Borderlands 3 and news that it's going to be exclusive for Epic Games. So basically, it's coming out April 2020 for PC players and consoles on September 13th. So,
Unless you want to get it through the Epic Game
yeah,
Store. I mean,
unless you want to get an Epic Game Store, that's your prerogative.
it's it seems to be the way things might be going. So,
Hopefully, they add in some features, though.
well,
Not having a search
I guess
feature.
I mean,
It's,
in slightly better news, though, we did get the announcement of the Sega Genesis Mini.
yeah, I'm really excited about this. I've already
Yeah, me
pre-ordered mine.
too. I'm super excited.
Yeah. So the neat news about this is that it's coming with two controllers. So they've
Huge
learned from
bonus.
Nintendo's mistake from the NES Classic, and it has two just like the SNES Classic. It looks just like the Model One, which I'm really digging because I like the look of that one, and it says high definition graphics on the top, so that's always really cool. Because the second model of that model didn't have that, and sound chips are different too. But we have 10 games currently
Of the
released for
40.
of 40, yeah, and yeah. So Echo, that game is a really fun and cool puzzle game. Castlevania Bloodlines, which is pretty awesome because that game's expensive. I think it's like 150 or $200 Canadian, so it's probably
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
100 US. But it's coming with the collection. Space Harrier 2, really great game that's good spiritual successor to the arcade game. It's not as good as the arcade version for like the visuals and stuff like that, but it's very competent game. Of course, it comes with Shining Force. I'm assuming the Fantasy Star games are going to be on here too, but those aren't confirmed. That's just me saying that they'll probably be on there.
Just like the other Shining Force. Like you're probably also gonna have Shining
Yeah,
Force.
yeah. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Machine, which is really just a reskin of Puyo Puyo, so that's kind of cool. Toe Jam and Earl. I never
Which
actually.
I'm so excited for Toe Jam and Earl. You're
Yeah,
probably also gonna get Toe Jam and Earl 2. I mean, again, speculating, but
yeah.
of the two, Toe Jam and Earl was an amazing, like, kind of open world, uh, like puzzle game.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
puzzle platformer with an open world. Yeah. And Comic Zone.
which
I
has been in every single Sega Genesis Classics collection, which I'm a little disappointed
You
that
don't
this
like
is
that
on
game?
here. I have it like 7 times, and I think I probably have the cartridge somewhere. Like
Oh, okay.
it's
Yeah, I never really played this game until later. It's a cool idea, but as a kid, I wasn't really interested. Of course, it comes with Sonic. I'm assuming it's coming with the entire trilogy and maybe Sonic and Knuckles, but we've confirmed the first one. Altered Beast, which was its original packing game, so it's kind of neat how that comes with it. And Gunstar Heroes. I hope more treasure games are on this collection, but Gunstar Heroes is awesome. Great two-player game.
yeah, it's a really cool addition to the list.
Yeah, yeah. So,
But that's coming September 19th
hmm yep,
of this year. We got a $100 price tag here in Canada,
yeah.
which
So
is, not, that's not bad considering
that's the
the
same price as the SNES Classic, wasn't it? Because wasn't that like $80 or $90?
I think that was 80.
Okay. All right.
I
So a
want
little
to say
bit
it
more
was 80.
expensive. You're paying for that blast processing.
And 40 games.
That's true. There's a lot more games too. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's some pretty pleasant news.
My only like I'm gonna get this, but like I said, I've pre-ordered it. But the only thing that I'm concerned about is the controller quality because a lot of the clone consoles that have been sanctioned by Sega or licensed by them anyway have really freaking sucked. My cousin got one of them, and I toyed around with it for a little bit, and the controller just was absolutely terrible. The D-pad was like not what I'm used to in the actual console, and he even noticed it was bad, and uh, he hadn't played a Genesis in years, and yeah, so I'm concerned about that, and just like I'm assuming this is probably going to get hacked. It's not a concern of mine, but so if there's any games on here that we're missing, we'll probably be able to play whatever we want on it. But for some games that I think should be on this title that they haven't mentioned, I'm not really sure. I hope like Contra Hardcore is on here. And that's the only really big one that I think should be on here. Do you have a top game that you would like on here that isn't on the list yet?
Honestly, I would just like to see more things that aren't already accessible through
Hmm.
all the various like Sega
Yeah,
collections.
because they've
Like
been releasing them ever since like the PS2. Like I have one on the PS2, the 360, the PlayStations. Like this is the
I,
current
I
one that just came out for the Switch and the PS4 and
I
PC
mean the one
even.
on the Switch is okay. Like
Yeah.
it for sure has some holes in it, but I mean at the same time like it's got all the Fantasy Star games minus the first one.
Hmm.
It has the Shining Force games. Like I don't I don't want those again.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I would like to see more stuff that isn't as available. That's why I was really excited about the Castlevania.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see over time,
But
and as we get more, we'll let you know as to what the other games are going to be when they're released. You
but there are some big releases coming this month. I know you're excited about a couple.
Yeah, so for April, there's the 50th anniversary of Konami. They're having an anniversary collection. Unfortunately, this is going to be digital only, according to their website anyway, but it's coming out for the PS4, Xbox One, Steam, and the Switch. And I'll probably get this for the Switch. And it's coming with a bunch of games that are old arcade classics. Most of them are shoot 'em ups, so if you're not a shoot 'em up fan, this might not be your thing. But Haunted Castle is going to be on here, which is the arcade version of Castlevania that they released. And I don't think there's very many
Oh,
cabinets that were like floating around, at least in North America, from what I've heard. So it'd be kind of neat to play through that. Typhoon's going to be
yeah,
on here. Nemesis, which I'm excited about. Life Force, which is also known as Salamander in other parts of the world. And Twinbee, the original one, as well as some other titles. So yeah, it's just pretty cool shoot 'em ups from like the late 80s and mid 80s. So looking forward to
nice.
that game. The second game that I'm looking forward to, since I do really like puzzle games, is Box Boy and Box Girl. This is going to be a game for the Nintendo Switch, and it's coming out later this month on the 26th. So a little bit later in the month, but basically you are this little box and you can move around and you can make duplicate boxes and you have to like get to the end of the level by solving a bunch of puzzles, like hitting a switch or like figuring out how to like make yourself like unfold into different shapes and stuff like that to get on platforms and whatnot. I don't know too much about the game,
Okay.
but I watched the video. It looks really, really cool. So if you're interested in puzzle games, I would definitely check that out. Mortal Kombat 11 is coming out. I am no longer really a big Mortal Kombat fan. I'm more of a King of Fighters and Street Fighter fan myself, but I am interested in Mortal Kombat coming out. I've been watching this on some YouTubers' channels, and it looks really cool. I hope it does well for them, and that the sports scene for this game is successful. So, because I do like watching those for the fighting games, and yeah, so I'm really interested in what uh, success that game has and moving forward. And if you pre-ordered, I know you get Shao Kahn, so that's kind of neat because he's an old character and he looked pretty neat. His moveset looked pretty awesome. I'm not interested in this, but Days Gone is coming out, so we thought we'd mention it, and it's coming out in
April 26th.
Yeah, the 26th as well. It does look interesting. I'll probably watch people on YouTube play this, but yeah, it's coming out. It's probably going to be pretty big on Twitch, and yeah, if you're into zombie games or like post-apocalyptic games or whatever, then it might be up your alley because it's an adventure survival horror. So, how about you, Ian? What games are you looking forward to this month?
I mean, April 9th, we've got the Ace Attorney trilogy coming out on everything.
Yep.
Which is an amazing way to visit the series if you've never had any experience there. The first 3 games are fantastic. Mm-hmm. So really you're only missing, I guess, 2, 3 from the like kind of core series.
Right.
So
because previously these were really only available on the DS, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
these were all DS titles. There was a 3DS title as well, I believe.
Right.
But yeah, so the Ace Attorney trilogy on the 9th. You've got a new Earth Defense Force game coming on April 11th, which, if you like third-person giant insect shooters...
Yeah, that game looks really, really fun. I've never played it just because... it doesn't really fully appeal to me, but like I do know one of my friends, he plays that game with his son, and they really have a blast with that game.
I mean, if you like the Dynasty Warriors games, it's kind of just Dynasty Warriors with guns and giant ants. So
yeah,
I mean, there's no downside. But then you've got the release of Wasteland 2. Mm-hmm. On the Switch on the 16th, which is kind of cool, a portable way to play Wasteland 2.
And you haven't played this game, right?
I actually haven't played Wasteland 2, no.
It had this on GOG, backed it, but yeah, it's cool how it's coming out on a portable console.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. You've got the Dragon's Dogma as well on the 23rd, which, again, if you've never played it, great way to get into it, and that's on the Switch only.
Yeah.
So... and then you've got, we have Final Fantasy X and X2.
Yeah.
As well as the Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age reissue at the end of the month. So
I have enough copies of X and X2. I think I'm going to stick with the PS4 copies for now. I even bought that on the PS3. But anyway, I don't know why, but... the Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age for the Switch, I'm probably going to pick up that one.
I mean, I picked it up, I want to say the year before on the PS4. So I might think about it on the Switch because it's probably getting a physical release. And that's, physical media is great. But those are kind of the things that I'm looking forward to over the course of the next month. As things come out, I'm sure we'll talk about them in our main show.
Yeah. You have a controller that you want to talk about, though.
Oh, yeah. There is some interesting news that I saw the other third-party controller coming out for the Switch that actually has a 3.5 millimeter audio jack built in for what they're saying is going to be easy in-game voice chat.
Yeah, which is interesting because right now you have to use Discord, basically.
I mean, that's what I use for it.
The official way is your phone, but yeah.
I've never used the actual like Nintendo mobile chat app, which
was a weird decision, but we'll leave it at that.
Very odd decision, but I mean, it's being made by Vivox. They actually did Fortnite's in-game chat.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of curious to see how this all turns out. Apparently it's going to be $25. Now that's probably US. So in Canada, we're probably looking at like a 35-ish price tag.
Probably $29.99 or $34.99.
Something like that. But that's not coming out until the summer. So I'm sure over the next couple months we'll get some more news about it, how it actually works. It is a wired controller. So it is plugging into your system. So whether they have something on board to register, I don't know, but
Right.
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really interesting. I'm gonna definitely keep my eye open for some reviews on that. And if you pick it up, we should probably do one. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely
So
seems to be like a useful tool, especially like we're both playing Diablo, and like you said you're using Discord right now to
yeah,
talk.
Discord's really the only way I've been able to at the moment.
Hmm.
I'm sure I could use the phone app, but I don't want to bother downloading it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so those are the interesting things and current events that we thought we'd bring up. And yeah, let us know what games that you're excited for that's coming out in April that maybe we didn't mention or we did. Yeah, and we'll see you in the next episode.